What's up guys, Captain Russia here, and today I want to show you guys a quick guide video on how to level up your plate armor while playing solo so that you avoid the situations I kind of just showed in the beginning of the video. How do you break that tier 3, tier 4 gear and you're actually able to level up to the point where, you're accepted in groups. My specs are not that great. I mean, they're kind of good, pretty low on soldier armor. But I'm going to show you guys a trick where you can use basically the Cryptcandle, right? It's a very important item that basically turns your plate into leather. So when you equip that, it gives you 20% damage and gives you minus 9.7 in this case, defense versus players in the mob. So it makes your plate less tanky, but it gives you much more damage, right? 20 damage bonus is huge. And if we look at our stats, it basically makes it close to what your leather armor would be. So using that, using that trick, using that philosophy here, what we're going to do is we're going to be running this build with plate armor. Again, I'm using soldier armor with Fury because it also has a little bit of a higher damage bonus, 10%. And I'm going to be using cloth on the rest again, just for that extra, damage bonus here. 3.5 on the passive. And same goes for Cloth Helmet, and I like this just for extra, energy, so I can keep going without running out of mana. So because we're using an offhand Cryptcandle, we're gonna have to be using a one-handed weapon, and there's multiple ones. I'll show both in the video. You can run with a Clarion Blade. It's a great AoE weapon, right? With Cryptcandle, you'll be able to clear mobs pretty fast. Again, you get 37% bonus to your damage, or you can use something like a crossbow. Again, with AoE skills, explosive bolt, sounder shot for one of the tougher enemies and bosses, and of course that exploding shot with AoE. And I'm running well prepared passive. Again, I'm not running energetic because I have Scholar Cowl that takes care of my mana issues. And again, on the Clarion Blade, Heroic Cleave on the Q, you can run kind of whatever on the W. I prefer Parry Strike. Mighty Swing, of course, on the E, and I'm running Heroic Fighting because extra heroic charges, help me clear mobs much faster. So for comparison's sake, again, for stats, like what do I mean? The Cryptcandle makes your damage same as on leather. Say I take off the Cryptcandle and put on my leather armor. This is what my damage would be, right? 27% damage bonus, basically, depending on what I run here. So there isn't really a big difference between, running leather and plate in this case. So what we're doing here is we're switching to plate and equipping Cryptcandle, and our damage is actually a little bit higher than on the leather. And again, if I run this even with the balanced mind passives, let's see what happens. So 37 here with plate and Cryptcandle. Let's switch this over. That's 31, so that's not even, it's close, but it's not even as good as on leather. So Cryptcandle, depending on what tier you bring, you could be running, have to run, 5-3, you can run, 4-2, 4-3, or 5-2, something like that. But this is basically a trick where you can clear dungeons solo pretty fast with a one-handed AoE weapon and get to a point where you can wear, higher tier plate, at which point you can get accepted into dungeons and, begin doing those dank dungeon group runs for all the rewards. Anyway, I hope you guys like this little video. I'll show you 2 clips of me running both the one-handed crossbow and the Clarion Blade. If you want to support the channel, as always, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you have any other ideas or any other weapons that we can use, I can maybe test them. And yeah, until the next time, Captain Russia out.